¿Qué gente? ¿Cómo están? Bueno, estamos de vuelta aquí en ELEX. Así que, bueno, si lo pronuncio mal, siempre lo he pronunciado mal, por si acaso. No es que es primera vez que lo pronuncio mal. No sé si es ELEX o HELIX o como se diga. La verdad, ni idea. Esta ciudad realmente no vine, o sea, vine una vez solamente y no hablé con nadie porque no quería adelantarme. En ese entonces estaba recién comenzando a jugar el juego y tampoco era muy fuerte. Tampoco es que soy muy fuerte ahora.
What do you want? Do you back the clerics here or do you want them gone?
You get right to the point, don't you?
And are you gonna give me an answer?
Que
I'm against the clerics.
Right, good. I can see you talk sense. They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city. That's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? Or that those followers of Kalan really want a backdoor for invasion?
Well, if there's going to be an invasion, I'm going to need some ammunition.
And you want me to give you that? Well, this is like being back in Tavar. People asking for things and expecting to just get them. But yeah, if I'm gonna talk about the need to fight, I suppose I should give you something to help you out.
Hunter sent me.
Why didn't he come himself?
He was afraid he wouldn't be let out of the city again if he was caught.
You mean he was afraid the same thing would happen to him that happened to me? Fuck it. At least the suggesters haven't found me yet. Did Hunter give you something for me?
Yes, I have something for you.
Thanks. I was starting to think that I would never leave this stinking cleric-infested dome. I don't know if Hunter promised you a reward, but here's something for me in any case. You've helped a good cause. Trust me.
Why don't you do something to stop the clerics?
I trust you. You gave me my ticket here after all. But I can't tell you our plan. But you must have realized by now the dome must go. The clerics can't be allowed to take Abessa.
Entonces esta misión la tenía hace mucho rato porque para poder venir aquí y hablar con un personaje acá que tuve que hablar con él, un NPC digamos que comercia, tiene más importancia en el juego, pero no llegué a tener tanta conversación con él honestamente. Él es un Albon también y nada, o sea, eso fue lo único que hice, pero como dije no quise mucho avanzar porque en ese entonces tampoco sabía tanto de historia de este juego realmente y no tenía tanto conocimiento como tengo ahora después de haber escuchado, no sé, 10 horas de conversación por lo menos. Entonces tengo que hablar con ella.
So you came through for Cooper?
Yes.
Then it seems we can rely on you, and a good job is rewarded. That's how we do things in Tavar.
Now he's out. How are you going to get into the city?
Well, I was hoping Cooper was going to sort that from the inside. But no dice. So, we're going to have to wait for something to change in there. Something's cooking for sure. So we've just got to hope it comes to the boils soon. It's not like we can go back to Tavar. The Duke's never been keen on Baxter's old boys. So we're going to risk staying here a bit longer and hope the Alps don't march through here. Spitball of a day, ain't it?
I feel really bad about it.
Entonces él fue el que me dio la misión. Y supongo que habrá algo más, porque como pueden ver, estas son las misiones principales. Estas son las misiones de Dan, que son las misiones para ascender de rango. Que por ahora no las voy a tocar, por ahora voy a seguir tratando de conversar con personas acá para ver qué me dicen y a ver si puedo hacer más misiones, porque ¿qué nivel estoy? Estoy nivel 20, aún me faltan 5 niveles para poder hacer el resto de misiones. O sea, y 5 niveles igual es bastante, la verdad. No es tampoco. Pero tengo que ver, voy a pasearme un rato y ver qué onda. Algo puedo encontrar acá.
You got lucky.
That wasn't luck. That was pure skill.
You were lucky.
Yeah, well, maybe I got luck and skill. But what I haven't got is beer. Feel like one?
Yeah, sure.
Well then, follow me.
O sea, nadie que realmente ningún personaje que tengo, o sea, que tengo solamente un nombre te va a decir algo, la verdad. Este es el bar de esta ciudad. Aquí puedes comprar licor y ese tipo de cosas, pero la verdad eso sirve para otra cosa. No es tan importante en este momento.
Hey, there's someone there.
Ahora,
I'm
aquí,
watching you.
If you're here for the food rations, then I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke. I don't have anything to sell or give out, so you can just turn around and leave.
What are you talking about?
The free rations. The free rations, as if there would ever be free rations. Ah, but you're not here for that, are you? Then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought... Well, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people just all work together?
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no. I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked. The domed city is our last hope.
no tiene nada que decirme, así que darme.
What was that?
Irrelevante, la verdad. Claramente no todo el mundo tiene una misión que darte o algo que hacer. Por lo que vi, la gran mayoría de las misiones principales están en Goliath. O sea, obviamente que yo supongo...
Another berserker we have to feed? Well then. Tell me your tale of woe. Why did you run away from Goliath?
I didn't run away.
Well, on your head be it. You're the one facing exile if they find out you're here. Make sure you say I told you to leave. We have enough problems here, especially with these damn separatists.
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
You are separate from the berserkers in Idan?
We have kept our beliefs, but left behind the laws. We have set our own rules here. Well, none of us are allowed to return to Idan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Idan out here. But they were cut off from Idan by the Alps, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Idan.
What do you have against the separatists?
We came here for peace, to escape the war. How long will that last if more Alps keep coming here? Zakor's left us alone recently. You think they will if they know all their escapees are coming here? Idan? Ignadon? Fuck it, even Tavar. At some point, if they learn that Albs are sheltering here, then they might attack us even if Zakor doesn't. And you can tell me whatever you want about us having the same goals, or the same enemy. But you really expect me to believe you Albs are going to choose us over other Albs? I don't care that people vote to let you in. If it was up to me, we would be better off if you lot were thrown out of the city.
You want to have all the separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah. And you know what? I have already started to make it happen. It's easy to find ways to show you people have broken the rules of our agreement. But hey, I have a way you can avoid the same fate. You could do us a service here. You could prove your humanity. Are you prepared to do that? Do you think you're even able?
What do you want from me?
I need help with the Albs. We have an eyewitness who claims to have seen the Separatists exchanging information with the Albs. Traitorous bastards.
Who is this eyewitness?
The Berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an Alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an Alb from Zakor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory, or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
I can make sure York stops denying his story.
You can? Do you think you can make York stick to his original story? It's for the good of the city. So how about you go to York and present yourself as an Alb? Encourage him to believe that he saw what he saw. It can never be said again that the Albs might be innocent.
You don't think that York could have been wrong in the first place?
No, never. You can't trust these separatists. They'll betray us sooner or later for sure. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
O sea, acá, bueno, nos tocó una misión. Y ahora salen varias cosas, ¿ah? Lugares... Ah, pero esto es... Ya, ok. O sea, sí es donde realmente vamos a encontrar misiones.
You're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserkers' city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted ELEX from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Dome City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am. Not now, I've got stuff, so, you know, later, yeah?
Entonces, bueno, en realidad quiero seguir explorando. Sé que hay más gente con la cual puedo hablar, probablemente.
Well, well.
Ahora, aquí había alguien antes. Ahora veo que ya no está.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
Ah, no, acá está.
Always when I'm sleeping.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and Jorg?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
What goods have you got?
Disculpen, estaba viendo una cosa. Yo creo que puede ser, o sea, igual tengo uno de cada cosa, fíjense. No. Ahora. No los voy a expulsar, más allá de que yo tenga una relación con los berserkers, o sea, vuelvo a decir, me caen bien, no tengo nada contra ellos. Esta es una compañera esta.
This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
What's wrong with you? Have I done something to piss you off?
Call it experience, but those in need and those willing to help don't normally question my motives.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to diffuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of ELEX, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? ELEX marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took ELEX in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed ELEX in one form or another. It's changed us. and neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the ELEX you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know ELEX and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I changed my mind.
Very
Wow, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Fuck all of them. I hope they drown in their own shit.
I've heard that before.
Stop being an asshole.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to
Well,
pay.
well.
Entonces, podríamos hacer esta
Fighting's the only thing that
misión.
matters. That makes a real man.
No veo nada más por acá. Obviamente que si hablo con el jefe de la ciudad o el líder, eso va a cambiar. Pero por ahora tengo 3 misiones que puedo hacer. O sea, no es demasiado, pero algo es, ¿no? O sea, versus lo que o sea, cuando tú llegas a Edan, Madre Santa.
Hey,
ahí sí te encuentras con muchas misiones.
Hey, you don't have any broken energy weapons, chainswords, or anything like that? That sort of thing is my business. So if you find any, bring them to me. I'll give you good prices for them.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
You think it's better here?
Yes, for sure. For me, at least. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
Who is this berserker that's giving you trouble?
Braback. A bull of a man and twice as ugly. Bone-breaking bastard.
About Braback. Where can I find Braback?
He's usually near the inn. Just follow your nose. If it smells like piss, you found him.
Leave Braback to me.
You'll deal with him? That would be great. Really great. You won't find me trying to put you off that. If you think you can scare him off so he leaves me alone, that would be good. Even if I do, I think ramming a knife into his guts would be a better approach. I would have tried that myself. But if I'd failed... But if you do get rid of him, however you do it, then I will pay you.
Let's trade.
Okay.
Entonces, estoy tratando, como dije, de encontrar cosas acá. Estoy tratando de mirar qué es lo que puedo encontrar. Y ya.
Hey, who's out there?
Ahora, bueno, eso ya entré ahí. Este de acá es la licorería. Me faltaría ir al medio solamente, porque yo también fui al costado. Allá no he ido, por ejemplo. Pero tengo la otra misión, ¿no? Porque seguramente para allá está el otro tipo, o sea, se los aseguro. Ahora aquí...
What is wrong now?
Be on your best behavior.
Ah, berserker. Strict on the laws of Goliath, are you?
What do you know about the laws of the Berserkers?
No standing in corners on Tuesdays, no technology on Thursdays, don't be rude to plants any day. I know the laws. You see, I grew up in Goliath. In fact, I've tried all the factions except the elves.
You grew up in Goliath? Why did you leave?
That's a long story. If you're really interested in my tale, then I will tell you, of course.
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliath in Edan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Bajar ruled over Goliath. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magalan is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Edan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then, I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Edan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
Then why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens. That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
What are you doing here in Abessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. When I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance, which I'm having to do quite a lot with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
I know the basics.
Unfortunately, that wouldn't be enough, I'm afraid. We don't really have time to train people on the job. Not if they're not going to stay here for good, and you don't look the type for that. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job, but I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your candidates.
Great. The 4 names I have are Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about him I don't trust. But speak to each of them and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
About the candidates for technician.
Yes?
Tell me about Naira.
Naira is an Alb separatist, so a bit of a long shot for loyalty. But she should have the technical ability we need. She's somewhere in the west of the city with the other separatists, in the slums.
You want to employ a separatist as a technician?
We need someone, and I don't think your faction always says who you are. Albs are usually very good with technology, but you're right. I don't know if we can trust her.
Tell me about Daryl.
Daryl is an outlaw. He's applied to be a technician, but I don't know why. So I want to know his motives and what his technical experience is. I'm hoping you can get that information. If he's skilled and trustworthy, then employing him might show that we do trust outlaws here. But I don't know that much about him. I don't even know where to find him.
What do you know about Rorik?
Rorik is a berserker. I think I last saw him somewhere around Vito's pub. It might seem weird to consider a berserker, but I was one once. And I know Rorik used to work extracting ELEX from machines in Goliath, so he knows about technology. And I think I could teach him everything else that he needs to know. And it would show that we were reaching out to the berserkers who have come to the Dome City. Their magic is very powerful, and they're strong warriors. We will need their help if the Albs attack us from Zakor. But it'll be important to find out if he's prepared to have anything to do with technology before we think of offering him the job.
O sea, bueno, hay varias cosas que se pueden hacer ahora. No. O sea, por ahora...
What is wrong now?
Sé que hay mucha conversación, eso lo tengo claro, pero es que yo ya me acostumbré.
Hey, who's there?
Yo por lo menos ya me acostumbré, no me incomoda. Ni me molesta, al revés. Es interesante, como dije.
What are you doing?
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Igniton?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulators sound dangerous.
Of course they are. Outside of frying yourself if you try to adjust them. If we were attacked right now, the whole dome would go critical.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I'd wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? I thought you berserkers didn't want anything to do with technology.
Do you want my help?
Cause outweighs the means, huh? Well, you help me and maybe I'll plant some trees later in your honor. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
Por eso decía que uno tiene que ir por partes. Porque, o sea, yo por ejemplo, cuando vine aquí realmente no hablé con nadie. O sea, fue como vine, entré y salí. Ya, o sea, hablé con un NPC un rato y sería, pero intenté no tener muchos diálogos con ellos, la verdad. Por lo mismo, porque sabía que en su momento tampoco tenía la experiencia necesaria como para poder tal vez afrontar estas conversaciones, ¿no? Entonces aquí ya no veo mayor información. Voy a empezar a completar las misiones que me faltan. Tengo que ir al medio igual, la parte de allá, no, que esa es la parte que no he visitado realmente. Pero la idea es que con estas misiones ganemos la experiencia suficiente como para poder subir de nivel.
What kept you?
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay, I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem? There's just one more thing.
Yes?
Why did you choose to join the Berserkers?
To begin with, it seemed like the best way to survive.
But that isn't everything.
My own people tried to kill me. I want to find answers, and joining a faction has to help me find them.
I hope you're not just doing this for your own personal reasons.
You said you wanted to study the properties of ELEX. How will you do that?
I can feel the presence of ELEX. Mostly where it's present in great quantities.
Like the converter?
You don't need any special powers to feel the ELEX there. No, I'm talking about unrefined ELEX. When it's raw, latent. I can learn more from it when it hasn't been altered. I want to explore Magalan and look for some large deposits of unrefined ELEX.
Deposits? I thought ELEX arrived with the comet.
You're right. Part of its power is that it isn't from here. I want to discover how it is spread across Magalan. But when it is processed by the Albs, the ELEX changes. It becomes polarized. The transmuted form that the Berserkers get from their mana shrine changes it in similar ways. That keeps some of its power, but it's the ELEX that came with the comet that I want to learn more about. I feel that there are secrets to learn about it. To understand those secrets, I need it untouched, pure ELEX.
How do you want to find these large ELEX deposits?
When the comet impact spread ELEX across Magalan, it found its way everywhere. Into the seas, the rock, the air we breathe. But it is collected and concentrated in some places. I have felt the vibrations, the presence of these deposits. I want to track them down and examine them.
Where can you find this unrefined ELEX?
The first deposit I'd like to investigate is north of the city of Abessa. I can show you.
If it's so close, why hasn't anyone else found it?
I don't know. Maybe because nobody can feel ELEX like I can.
Your senses are better than Alb technology?
Come with me and find out.
All right, show me the way.
It's not far from the city. Follow me.
O sea, nunca te van a seguir
There's
5
a
compañeros.
vast amount of ELEX flowing into the sea. It washes out of the cliffs and the ground, and it flows out across the planet. ELEX is everywhere.
But you still think we need to find concentrations of it?
Yes, from the moment the comet struck, ELEX has been seeping into everything on Magalan. That makes the background noise from it hard to read. If I'm to learn more, we must follow those mutants to find where the ELEX is coming from. We know where we have to go. I'll follow you this time. You did well. I'm better at sensing ELEX than any person I know, but there are mutants with the same ability. We should be careful in case the ELEX deposit has attracted them.
O sea, no me preocupa tanto los mutantes, a menos que sean grandes. Eso sí me puede preocupar, pero si no, no. Porque ya no, o sea, no es que sea nivel 1. Oh. Ok. Eso me dolió, hermano. Ahora, hacer esta misión en nivel bajo, olvídense. Olvídense.
Oh, thanks for being there. That could have gone badly. The deposit must be here. I can feel the ELEX in the ground.
And so what do we do now?
I must meditate. Wait over there. I need space away from you.
O sea, primera vez que veo a alguien con esa habilidad, la verdad. Me queda esa ciudad, me queda esa ciudad, me queda esa ciudad. Esta ciudad y la ciudad que está al fondo. Y bueno, y eso de ahí, ¿no? Eso es lo que me queda.
Please don't disturb me. I need to focus. That was what I was afraid of.
That doesn't sound good.
It's something I've suspected. It's why I came. It's the reason you're going to think I'm crazy. I could feel the ELEX was communicating with me. Like it has a purpose. That it wants something from me, from the people on this planet.
ELEX speaks to you?
I know how crazy that sounds, but it's true.
But it's a mineral. How can it want something? How can it speak to you?
That's one of the reasons I had to leave Goliath. It was like the ELEX was screaming to me. I thought it was because of the mana they were giving me, but now I know it's something different.
So, you want to continue?
You said you would help me. That was our deal. Are you still up for this? Now you know how crazy my idea is?
Let's assume I believe you. What exactly do you think you heard?
I'm not sure. It wasn't words. More a sense of desire, of purpose. But it was fleeting, hard to catch. I think I need to find a bigger deposit of ELEX. That might help me hear it more clearly.
Okay. What happens now?
We go ELEX hunting. But first I need to return home. I have to go to Edan, to one of our world hearts. The one south of the observatory, in the middle of Edan. Now I've heard it, sensed it here. I want to know if this is what I heard when I was close to large amounts of mana in Edan.
You said you felt something back then. Why would it be different now?
Because I need to be sure. I need to know I wasn't going crazy. Can't you see how important this could be? What this would mean for everyone?
You go. I'll meet you there when I can.
Right. See you in Edan.
A ver. Entonces, esto va a ser fácil, la verdad, porque esta misión es bastante corta. Pero bueno, más que todo eso, no es tan larga, la verdad. Ya hay 4 compañeros ahí, este sería el 5º. Ya hay un logro por tener 5 compañeros, pero igual nunca nunca te van a seguir los 5 como les comenté, ¿no? Solo te va a seguir uno. Y eso es todo. Voy a ir terminando las misiones poco a poco porque realmente son varias misiones, ¿no? O sea, no sé si tantas como antes, porque igual son menos, pero tampoco he hablado con el jefe, entonces no sé. ¿Me entiendes? No sé qué tantas misiones hay. La verdad.
It was all a damn lie.
They rejected me. They rejected almost every...
Hey, there you are.
Are you okay? You look...
Yeah, I know. I feel terrible. That encounter with the ELEX in Abessa really took it out of me. It's like it looked inside of me. I feel cold from the inside.
Cold? That sounds like ELEX.
You remember it, right? From when you took it. I got similar feelings when I took mana. I can't imagine what it did to you before being transmuted. I need some now. I need to get some mana.
I thought you wanted to go to a world heart.
I do. Now that you're here, we could go together.
About the side effects of ELEX.
Yeah?
Here, I have some mana for you.
Thank you. I need it to balance the ELEX I'm sensing. Without it, I'm worried I'll lose myself to it. I have to understand what it wants, what the ELEX's purpose is.
Then let's go.
All right.
O sea, el maná lo que hace es bajarte la intensidad del consumo de ELEX. Eso es lo que hace el maná, como que te nivela.
Something is wrong here. There should be guards to look after the world heart.
Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Then we should be ready for a fight. Something has killed the guards here. Maybe it was mutants. They're attracted to mana as well as ELEX. That was great.
Si no guardo me van a matar. Hay uno de los grandes y ese tengo que matarlo a distancia. Es la única forma. O sea, podría intentar a combate, pero me va a matar. Pega muy fuerte. Me pega un golpe y me baja la mitad de la vida. O sea, si es que no más. Primero me encargo de estos chiquitines y después veo el grande, porque realmente, como dije, meterme a pelear contra ese tipo ahora en este mismo momento no es bueno. Y si ella pretende realmente enfrentarse a él cara a cara, es un problema. O sea, se los digo en serio, el tipo no es fácil. Va a parecer fácil porque le estoy pegando con esta arma, pero en realidad no lo es. Parece fácil, ¿no? Pero no, créanme que no. O sea, si ustedes, digamos, no usan el jetpack para matarlo, o no sé, o lo esquivan y se ponen arriba de un lugar, porque igual les va a escupir y les va a quitar sangre, porque te quita sangrado.
It's terrible. Not a soul here. Just death. I have to go on. Can you give me some space again? I need peace and quiet for meditation.
Igual el maná te sirve como para mejorar armas y todo eso, entre otras cosas, pero
I can sense it.
What can you sense?
It's incredible. I can hear something here. Clearer than before.
What can you hear?
The ELEX. It's alive. It doesn't matter whether it's been changed, processed, transmuted, it doesn't matter. It retains the same voice. It might change the way ELEX behaves, but it remains linked together somehow.
So, what does that mean?
That all its forms must be related and that it can revert. It can return to its unrefined form.
Mana can become pure ELEX?
It's conceivable, but nobody knows how to do it. Not even the Albs.
Are Are you any closer to understanding what this means?
Closer, yes, but I need to know more to understand it. The fact ELEX is alive, that it has a collective consciousness is one thing, but we need to know what it wants. I want to know if we're changing it, or it's changing us.
Hey, what? How can it be changing us?
You of all people ask me that? You know the effect it had on you as an alb. You've seen what it's done to Magalan's animal life. We need to find some more ELEX deposits. Some that have been brought back up from when the comet first hit. Let's go. I'll tell you if I sense any.
How are you?
I'm okay. I can see that you're... Pete?
About the side effects of ELEX.
Yeah?
Here, I have some mana for you.
Thank you. Not bad.
Yo les dije que esto no iba a durar tanto, la verdad, pero bueno. ¿Caja tiene algún tipo de vínculo que nos trajemos? Un segundo aquí con esto. Bueno, entonces estuve leyendo un poco para entender. Dice que esto me lo van a marcar en el mapa. Obviamente nosotros no hemos avanzado con la historia principal, así que por ende dice que si no me marcan en el mapa las misiones que tengo con ella es porque tengo que seguir avanzando en la historia, ¿ok? Así que probablemente lo mejor sería probablemente sería esto, yo creo. Por ahora, porque no voy a alcanzar a terminar esa misión con ella por ahora. A menos que avance en la historia, ¿no? Este era el mercader que hace un par de episodios atrás le compramos.
Hello, stranger.
Y
Then show me what you have.
Only the...
Y nada, eso, pero había desaparecido el vende maná. Y probablemente eso. Voy a seguir con esto. Igual ya estamos casi con el tiempo del episodio, la verdad. Así que no sé cuánto puede avanzar, honestamente. Ahora parece que voy a tener que entrar en un lugar donde no quiero entrar por ahora, pero...
Hey, you. I heard you speaking to Eric. He gave you an energy regulator for the dome, right? Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
Why do you want the regulator?
Haven't you noticed the tension here? All the anger and the plotting? It scares the hell out of me. So I want a way out of here if things go wrong. A sort of backdoor. I want to modify the regulator so I can drop a section of the dome and get out if things go bad. Let me modify it. Then I'll give it back to you so you can get it to where it needs to be. You've got to see why I'd want a way out, yeah? So do we have a deal?
No.
What's in it for me if I help you?
Profit is profit. I respect that attitude. What do you think about 100 shards?
I won't give you the regulator.
Then you've blown your chance. And don't come back to me and ask for help when no one will let you out of here.
No me interesa, honestamente. No tengo nada contra estos tipos, honestamente.
Don't steal anything here.
Yes, what is it?
Fink sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those Albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an Alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the Alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About this situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
Si no sabe... Si no sabe, debería decir la verdad.
Go to the clerics and tell them you made a mistake.
I can't do that. Caleb will call me a traitor. And for all I know, Caleb is right. That Alb could have been from Zakor. What if Fink actually is an Alb spy?
I spoke with Fink. He is not a spy.
How can you be sure? Whatever it was I saw it. Don't you think it's suspicious? And even if this Alb was a separatist, we don't really know what they want either, do we? No. No, it's too risky just to hope he's innocent. I can't say anything to the clerics.
El problema es que no subí algunas habilidades y su gestión no la tengo.
If that is your decision.
Yes. I'm sorry, but we can't risk it. Not if Caleb could be right. You've helped me decide. Thank you. The separatists must leave the city. I will go to Caleb and tell him that I won't say anything.
El problema es que... A ver, un segundo. ¿Puedo cargar la partida? Hace 4 minutos atrás. Sí. Lo que pasa es que, o sea, lo que les digo es que, a ver, su gestión. Solo quiero ver, porque la verdad que... Esto puede ser útil porque me dice infliges daño cuerpo a cuerpo adicional si frialdad está entre 40 y 60, ¿ya? Yo tengo 41 y 59, o sea que estoy dentro de eso. Eso no me sirve. La compasión como corresponde a día. Si tu nivel de frialdad está entre 0 y 20, no se me día. No me sirve. Otorga un atributo. Esto me sirve, por ejemplo. Esto y esto me sirve. Esto no sé. Menos 5% más de... Menos 5% más de puntos de diferencia por cumplir misiones. ¿Por qué sale menos 5? Y la sugestión. Esos son los berserkers, los clérigos, la minería. Bueno, supongo que, bueno, déjenme ver, ya lo veo en el siguiente episodio, pero ya saben, suscríbanse, que like, compartan el canal y lo veo.